Exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Amazon Music, Podchaser, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So this show has no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Why not 100% of the time? If you're happy 100% of the time, you're dead. And I don't want dead people listening or walking. Instead, I want you to be 88% happy, which is your birthright in this thing called life. And I am so delighted today. You are in for a fabulous treat. She's actually been in my studio before because she is extraordinaire, a woman who has spanned decades and decades of time with her performances. She's been on before because she is ageless and timeless. And I want to make sure I give her the proper introduction. She's the founder and for over 50 years, a lead vocalist for the legendary group, The Fifth Dimension. She's won 6 Grammys and earned 14 gold and 3 platinum records. With the group, she's a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was also inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. Florence has received rave reviews for her one-woman show, Just As I Am, and her cabaret show, Musique La Rue, both which she wrote, produced, and starred in. And I had the honor of being in a production last year with her. It was a show of conversations about the girls, and the girls were, yes, boobs. Florence is a woman of many dimensions, and she lists her priorities as God, family, and career. During COVID, she created a national conference line to connect and encourage senior women who were alone and felt isolated. She's continually striving to eradicate homelessness. This includes working with the church's homeless ministry and the Ann Douglas Center on Skid Row in downtown LA. She's many accolades, the Spirit of Life Award from the City of Hope, Outstanding Alumnus Award from Cal State College at LA, from which she received a Bachelor of Arts degree in education. Florence is especially proud of her President's Volunteer Service Award from the White House. Nice. In recognition of commitment for making a difference through volunteer service. Florence La Rue is grateful to God for the life he has blessed her with and looks forward to what he has planned in the future. Please welcome to my studio the one, the only Florence La Rue.
Good morning,
Welcome back
Dr.
to my studio. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm so glad to have you. And before we get started, you have a friend there over to the side, and we're going to give him a proper introduction as well as I find his bio that he was so nice to send me. And I had it up here. It's one of those
part of the Fifth Dimension. Sidney Jacobs.
Yes.
Hello.
Sidney
Hi, Dr. Marissa. How are you?
I am happy and grateful. Thank you. And I'm looking for the nice bio that you sent me. And I don't want to miss out in that, but I'm so glad. Where are you hailing from?
Right now, I'm hailing from La Cañada. California.
Pinata.
That's right above Pasadena.
Wonderful. And let's see,
Sidney
is
is a very fine singer with the Fifth
yeah.
Dimension, a wonderful young man. And we're so happy to have him to join us to help us carry on the Fifth Dimension tradition.
It's an honor.
Absolutely. And you have a great picture. You're a jazz guy.
I'm a jazz, yes, I'm a jazz singer, and jazz composer and arranger and R&B, and I produce, and I love writing music. I love singing with the Fifth Dimension. It kind of melds everything because the Fifth Dimension's music moves beyond just like pop or R&B. It moves into many, many different kind of genres.
Yes,
so it's exciting.
He's an American jazz vocalist, songwriter, arranger, producer, and he is the newest member of the legendary group, The Fifth Dimension. He is a Los Angeles native, is a wonderfully inventive and daring vocalist. This I can't wait to see on Friday with a lyrical heart. He writes and arranges cohesive and soaring songs, which incorporate elements of bop. Oh, that's a new one. R&B, swing, soul, sonic, experimentation, another new one. Love learning new things. And the Great American Songbook to create lasting and resonant music. His critically acclaimed 2017 album, First Man, was played continuously on over 100 American radio stations and garnered much praise. His future release, If I Were Your Woman, expands on the themes presented in First Man to be a daring and memorable, heart-touching project. Well, I'm thinking of dating again, so maybe that'll be my theme song when dating.
Well, it's a song of a lot of yearning, so I don't know.
Ooh. Well, it's only been 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days since I've had a date. So maybe there's some yearning worked up there.
There's some yearning there. Yes, I can imagine.
Well, please welcome to my studio, formally, Sidney.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. And with my boss, too. This is great.
Yes, I know. That's so lovely. How did you find Sidney, Florence? Did you hold auditions?
Our manager, conductor, and arranger found Sidney. And when he came in to audition, as soon as he opened his mouth, that's the one.
Oh, and I had no idea because Florence was just sitting in the corner, just small and taking up all the space in the room, this big presence. And I was so nervous. I hadn't been so nervous to do an audition in such a long time, but I was thrilled.
Well, she is one of the most humble, welcoming, sweet, nice stars that I know. And before Sidney, can you move your head just a little closer to Florence's? I don't want to cut off part of your eye there. There we go.
Is that better? Okay.
It is much better. And before I forget, I do want to award Florence with a special, and I don't do this for every guest, but because of all the work that you're doing, you're my favorite kind of star. Takes her limelight and shines it on areas of temporary darkness with your work on homelessness and senior women and all of that. For that, I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. You can add that to your list.
I also want to let you know that Sidney is an ex-teacher, and he also donates his time and talent to helping underprivileged children.
Ex-psychologist.
You're a psychologist?
Yeah.
I'm an ex-psychologist.
Yeah.
And I taught too, but I taught teachers, I taught kindergarten, but the bulk of the work was assessing children for special needs and services.
All right, you get the Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award as well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm honored.
See, she just did it. She took her award and she said, "Now, let's spread this love around."
That's what I love about your show, Dr. Marissa. It's the love and positiveness in this world, and we need more of that.
Yes. Yeah.
I receive that. And
Yeah.
in that vein, let's go ahead and have breakfast together. I pop this in on my guests, and we're not going to do all 8, but we have, I start the show with breakfast with my guests, and we do a taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So what are you grateful for this morning? And that's the top of the bun. And I don't want to do all 8 because I want to get into the story, and everybody's wanting to know more about Fifth Dimension. Such a memorable group, continues to create memories. But what are you grateful for is the question. And I'll start to give you an idea. It doesn't have to be long, but it has to be outside of yourself. So, and because we're going to do the bottom of the bun, which is what do you appreciate about yourself? So a little bit of a distinction. So we're sandwiching our day in the most positive way. So I am grateful that I meet the best people because of this show. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. This being show number 917, 571 consecutive weeks on the air. We're coming up on 11 years on May 1st. And I am truly, truly grateful for that.
Wow, wonderful.
Thank you. All right, Florence, what are you grateful for?
Congratulations. I am truly grateful that at 81 years old, the Lord has allowed me to get up and to be with people like you, because you reflect the people that you surround yourself with. So I am grateful that you and Sidney and people in the Fifth Dimension are positive, and that keeps, selfishly, it keeps me going, keeps me positive, and knowing that there are, no matter what you hear on the news, no matter what you read in the newspaper, there are a lot of wonderful people in the world, and we have to band together and support each other and get out there and make the world a more beautiful and positive place, which is what you're doing with your show. And I thank you for that, Dr. Marissa.
Oh, drop the mic. That was it. We can go home now.
Yeah, you just summed it up.
That's awesome. All right. And Sidney, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for almost everything, you know. I mean, the simple.
Oh dear. We lost him for a second. But I'm going to just take this second to welcome Ishmael.
Am I there? Okay.
Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, the simple thing in church to say is to say I'm grateful for this morning, right? To be in service. But I'm grateful to have gotten up. I'm grateful for these trees behind me. I'm so grateful to be in this group, which is the focus of today. I could spend 2 hours talking about that. The gratefulness of being able to travel the country and taking music to places that might not ordinarily be able to find us. You know, we go to big cities, but we go to small towns too. And we go all over this nation. So, I mean, man, the grateful list for me is very long.
Yay. All right. And we're going to go to the bottom of the bun now. That is, what do you like about yourself? And the reason why I do this is I believe the foundation of good mental health is self-love, self-acceptance, self-care. And we're at a big shortage of that. A lot of people walk around in their antenna looking, you know, who likes me, right? Literally now with social media, how many likes do I have? Which doesn't capture who you really are. So I want people to work their muscle of, can you approve of yourself? What is it that you like about yourself? Because honestly, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect someone else to approve of you? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So
that's true.
So I appreciate that I am quick to laugh. I love laughter is my favorite sound in the world, cardio for my soul. And even if it's making fun of myself, it's okay. I love to laugh, and I appreciate that about myself. Florence, what do you like about you?
I like that finally, at this age, I am able to accept myself for who I am, not trying to be anyone else, not trying to look like anyone else, but accepting myself for the person that God made me.
Well, I have to say, you are the youngest looking 81-year young person I know. And if you're, I want to know the beauty secret. I asked Priscilla Presley on the red carpet what her beauty secret was, and she said, good lighting. But I think yours is way beyond good lighting. So I think but we'll find out. That's the secret of looking young. That's one of my questions. So we'll leave that for later. Sidney, wrap it up for me. Bottom of the bun. What do you like about yourself?
I like that I'm alive. Which is no small thing, if you consider the odds against it. And I think, Florence, you said one time that I'm open, and it took me a second to appreciate that. But I love learning, and when the more I learn, the more I realize just what I don't know, and so it keeps me tuned into reality. Yeah, I like myself.
Yay! Yay! Florence, remind me to ask you later if he's single. Okay. So.
Unfortunately, no, I'm
He's
not.
not. Darn. Okay, that's that. Sorry, out of scope show. Thank you so much for having breakfast. That was our gratitude and appreciation sandwich. I promise you, 30 days. If you do this every single day, you will have an extraordinary shift in the day between the top and the bottom of the bun. And the bottom of the bun is actually done at night before you go to bed. So we just modeled it for you. So this way, instead of thinking about all the things you haven't done, all the things that are wrong, who done you wrong before you go to bed, or that MOOAN scrolling, which is much ado about nothing scrolling. That's my new term. You instead get to appreciate yourself and then fall into a beautifully restful sleep. So that's my gift and hope to all of y'all that are tuned in. We actually got a couple of fingers during that little segment of breakfast. Not this finger, this finger.
Okay. Good.
So there's some thumbs up there. Thank you for tuning in. Just a little station ID. If you're wondering what's going on in the studio this morning, I'm so delighted to have two members. The founding member is one of them of the Fifth Dimension. So from the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
All right.
Yeah,
It might be the sixth dimension if you keep singing
And they
like
can
that.
hear the whole song on Friday night at the Savant Theater in Beverly Hills.
I am giving away. Dana was so kind. He's one of my show sponsors. So I'm so delighted to actually have you as a guest before the show. And I'm giving away 8 pairs of tickets today. So through this whole interview this morning, I will let you know how to get those tickets. So keep it tuned here. If you're driving right now on my AM 1050 FM 106.5 channel, please do not go and start typing in comments. But I do want you, when you land, to be able to come to my YouTube channel where we are streaming live, Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can go ahead and put your comments and questions there. A shout out to one of my longtime supporters. He is saying good morning from Riverside. All right, now that's it for the beginning. Let's go to the beginning of the Fifth Dimension. Florence La Rue, did you know as a child that this is what you would be doing, what you would have under your belt? So many things: Grammys, star, just memorable top hits, albums, diamond, all of that. Did you have any idea that this is what God had planned for you?
Dr. I had no idea. I didn't even want to be in the group when they asked me, because when I was a child, I wanted to do 2 things. I wanted to teach because I had a wonderful 5th grade teacher, Miss Stover, who I loved. And I wanted to be an actress and be in the movies. Those are the 2 things that I wanted to do. I was blessed to get my teaching credential, and I have some experience with student teaching. And I'm still looking forward to doing a movie.
I can see it. For
When
sure.
I said
For
I must
sure.
explain not wanting to be in the group because what happened was the way I got into the group, I came from a very small town in Pennsylvania and to California to go to college, and I didn't know how to get into the movies. So friends entered me into beauty contests, hoping to be discovered for the movies. I was blessed to win quite a few. I was Miss Valverde, Miss Coppertone, Miss this, Miss that. But the year I was in the Miss Bronze California contest, I won the talent. And a gentleman came up to me and said, I have a,
Ah.
and one of the girls left because nothing is happening. Would you join us? I said, no, no, no. First of all, I'm not a singer. I'm in my last year of college. I'm working full time. I don't have time to come to. He bugged me, and that was Lamont McLemore, and that's how I joined the Fifth Dimension.
Wow, interesting. So you've got beauty contest stuff going on as well. That's awesome. That is awesome. So do you what would you say the moment that you did feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do? When did that sort of come in? Was it a slow burn to there, or did you have a moment?
No, it was a slow burn. We began rehearsing, and I thought, oh, something could happen with this group. People often ask me if I would have joined the group, did I think that we would have the success that we did? No, I didn't know we would be as successful as we were, but I would not have joined if I didn't think the group would be successful, because who wants to be a part of, something that's not going to work? But
Right, right, right.
it was a real blessing to become a part of the group, and I've learned so much over the years. And I do look forward to an acting career in the future. I starred in a couple of plays, and I also did some television work. But I'm looking forward to doing that movie. Maybe I'll be somebody's great grandma.
I Well, I just had Michael Learned on the show, and she was the mom in the Waltons,
Right.
and then she just is the grandmother of Jeffrey Dahmer in the
Mm,
Netflix Jeffrey Dahmer special. And they just
yeah.
crossed 1 billion views. So I see it as a huge possibility. I would love to see someone write a screenplay and pitch it for you and the Fifth Dimensions. I think
That would
that
be
is a
great.
story that people would really be interested in. And the preview, of course, is my show now.
Yeah. Well, I like to tell people, the reason I tell my age, want to tell people, men and women, especially women, it's never too late to follow your dreams. Don't give up. We give up so easily, but it's never too late.
Yeah.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sydney,
Yes, ma'am.
did you have any idea that you were going to end up being the newest member of the Fifth Dimensions?
No. My mother, who was like an internationally awarded principal educator, she was fantastic. Her creed in life was to say yes to everything, and she went unto the Lord just 3 years ago when she was
Oh,
96.
wow.
Um, I had no idea. When I was young, I thought I did my first solo in church at 11. Bellevue Community Church, still there, still going strong. In fact, I'll be there. I'll be singing there this Sunday.
Huh.
Um, and the response was overwhelming. For an 11-year-old, it never had any kind of attention like that. So that's what got me thinking. And then I went through high school and college and vocal scholarships, singing classical music, and then I discovered jazz. Um, but life interceded with kids and trying to make a living. And so that's what prompted me to go back to school and get my degrees in psychology. With the Fifth Dimension, however, it came out of the blue. I was actually working on an album in a studio. Ron, who Florence referenced as the music director of the group, was looking for another singer. He called the engineer of the studio that I was working at, and the engineer said, "No, I got your guy." And so that's when I went into audition just on a whim, with no thought that this would come to pass. But I grew up with this music. My brother and sister were 10 and 11 years older than me, and I absolutely grew up with all of the Fifth Dimension, all of Motown, all of the music of the 70s and the late 60s. And so it's just one of those things that happens in life. But it happened because I made myself available to it, and I've kept working at my craft, even though I was, employed doing something else as a living.
Wonderful. Well, I made a point of the jazz guy because that's my favorite music, and I
Yes.
have been so blessed to have Arturo Sandoval as a
Oh,
guest
yeah.
on my show.
Yes.
Keiko Matsui, 4 times
Yes.
on my show, and she's my twin sister. We found out through the course of our relationship, now first meeting her at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, and they always play that commercial with me dancing in it, just saying. But it's always around my birthday weekend in August. And so I have a very beautiful place. I'm a retired lounge lizard, but I did sing at Spaghettini's once
Wow.
before Najee, and Najee told me that I had a voice of a dove. I think he said. I didn't know doves sing,
My.
but it was when doves. At least he didn't say when doves cry.
Right.
But I do love to sing, and I do love the fact that you're into jazz. I just love jazz so much. So, yay! Now, the first hit I read, and see if I got this right, because who knows? Like you said, Florence, there's a lot of misinformation out there. But in 1967, you recorded "Go Where You Want to Go," which became a breakthrough hit. The
Right.
group followed this with "Up, Up and Away." I thought Up and Away was after Aquarius, but I found out
Yeah.
it was before. Reached number
Right.
7 later that same year, and went on to win 5 Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
The success broke wide open with Aquarius, "Let the Sunshine In," from the musical Hair, topping the Hot 100 for 6 straight weeks in April and May. And it was the biggest hit single for 1969. Like, that is, I mean, people, try their entire lives to have something like that happen. So what do you think prepared or sort of gave you that entree? What do you think the secret sauce was?
Actually, listening to our record producer, because a lot of the songs the Fifth Dimension recorded, we would not have heard, because back then Motown was very popular. So in our rehearsals, we were singing, "You gotta smile so bright," all the Motown songs. And our manager was brilliant, Mark Gordon. He recognized the fact that we didn't have those types of voices. So why not do music that fit our voices instead of trying to do something that, was not us? So he introduced us to Bones Howe. Bones brought us all kinds of music. He brought us One That Spell, most of our hits, as a matter of fact. And by listening to them and taking their advice and using our talents and rehearsing, I think that's what brought it all about.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you have a unique sound, right? That you wanted to preserve through this time.
Right. And the reason our sound was unique was because we had different type voices. If you have a gospel group, you would have 5 gospel singers. If you have a jazz group, you would have 5 jazz. But we had people with totally different voices, which allowed us to be very, very, very different. And our shows reflected that. Now, our records were very pop. That was what they called it. I like the expression champagne soul. But our shows, we used voices. We even did Vesta La Jube in our show from Pagliacci. So we did R&B, pop, a little bit of everything. And I think this is what really endeared us to the audience, because they would hear the type of music that they enjoyed in the show.
It distinguished the Fifth Dimension from the other groups that were out
Right.
there instantly.
Yes.
Instantly. As soon as you heard the Fifth Dimension, you knew that's who you were listening to.
And that's, that is the beautiful secret sauce, not so secret, about your popularity, because even I was, doing the, up and away, and then the young generation, oops, that's my grand dog son, the young, he's howling to my singing.
No, he's harmonizing.
Very nice.
Jill, you want to come and say hello? So, anyways, the younger generation also.
Oh my goodness!
I have one too. I have one too right here.
Was recognizing the music. This is my daughter's boyfriend's dog. Well, it's their dog. His name is Pablo, and I'm babysitting him for the week, and so he's been co-hosting with me. Oh, look. They got another friend over there.
Yeah, there
oh
you
my
go.
goodness. They're like, whatever. I'm the star.
I so miss not having a dog. I've always had a dog all my life. But when my mother passed, it's like I had no one to watch him when I wasn't there. And I think it's mean to travel with the dog, So here I am.
I was going to say, you're too busy. You're too busy to have a dog, and I'm too busy to have a dog, which is why babysitting is perfect. Yeah. And I've often said that if I did get a dog, I would never date because there's no need.
Oh, shame on you.
They're so great, though, aren't they? Right? So wonderful.
I'm like you, doctor. I don't date, and I said the man that I date has to like dogs and play the piano.
There you go.
I know. I want one that's a mechanic that gives a mean massage. M&M. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, look at this going to sleep.
The massaging mechanic. I'll keep my eye out for you, doctor.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Sydney. And jazz singer. We'll just add that.
And jazz singer too. Okay.
He's very comfortable.
And yes, he is. He is. He loves
dogs
my
know
life
who
right
love
now.
them, and they know the people.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I call it unconditional dog.
Yes,
because dogs are the only thing that can really love unconditionally.
Yes, and loyal.
Let's very, very. Let's go to you. Let's do a station ID. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering who's in studio, we have a plethora of love people here. This is not a dog show, but this is a music show. And we're serenading our pets this morning with the founding member of the Fifth Dimension, Florence La Rue, as well as the newest member of the Fifth Dimension, Sidney Jacobs. They're going to be at the Saban Theater in Beverly Hills this Friday at 7 p.m. Or 8 p.m. Sorry, I'm going to be there. I am now going to give the 8 pairs of tickets away to the first 8 people that go to drmarissa.life and put down Aquarius. That is the key subject word. Yesterday, I gave 1 pair of tickets to Up, and Away. So we're just going to continue that and use the keyword Aquarius. And I'll contact you and meet you in front of the box office on Friday night. So excited. So are you excited about performing? Is this your first performance, Sidney?
Oh, no. I've been with it's several hundred performances right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we haven't been to Los Angeles in a while.
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited about being here at home. We're usually away spreading this love, but now we get to spread it at home. So it's fun.
I can't wait. I'm so excited about seeing you on stage on Friday. So, Florence,
after the show,
go back. I'm sorry?
I was saying, be sure we see you in person after the show. We'll be waiting to see you.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait. I will definitely come backstage for sure. I'll be honored. All right. Ed Sullivan Show twice.
No, we've
Frank
been
Sinatra
Ed Sullivan about 5 times.
5 times. See the Wikipedia said only 2. So 5 times.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is. You've been on Johnny Carson. Let's see what else here we've got. It's all Soul Train, Tonight Show. All of your many special places that you have performed. What was your most memorable, most funny, most horrible? I want to hear it all.
Well, my most memorable is a show that's very dear to my heart. The Fifth Dimension was sent by the State Department of the U.S. to Eastern Europe, which at the time was communist. And there's many things happened, but one thing happened one night. There were armed guards backstage with dogs to make sure that there'd be no rioting from our music. But at the end of the show, the audience rushed the stage, and it was scary to see hundreds of people. They wanted to touch us because we were their touch to the free world, and it really showed me how music can affect people, the importance of music. The funniest thing that happened was when we performed on Frank Sinatra's special. He put on an outfit like the Fifth Dimension and sang with us, and it was sponsored by a beer company. So we had the dress rehearsal, where you wear your whatever you're going to wear in the show, and then after the dress rehearsal, all the big wigs came in from the company ready to see the show, and Mr. Sinatra said, "Oh no, that's it. That was it. It can't get any better." And there was no, the dress rehearsal was the show that was filmed, and it was great. But my mind went blank. The young lady who sang a solo on the show, you would know her if I could think of her name. But she wore a beautiful gown, and for the dress rehearsal, she didn't wear her shoes. And you don't realize it unless you look for it. You can see her bare feet under the gown at the show. I think it was Nancy Wilson.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Did she get in trouble?
Oh, not at all, because it was a dress rehearsal. And he was saying we were expecting to do the show in full, dress. But he was like, no,
Right.
It's not going to get any better. That's it. And he was
Smart
right.
move. That's a smart move. Yeah. That's
He was right. It was
Very
great.
smart. Now you're very stylish. Did you pick out your own stuff to wear
for the show,
for performances?
Yes, well, for the performances, we always had people who made costumes for us, and then we would decide which one we were going to wear for each particular show. Yes.
So they don't. Well, I didn't look for it because I don't like looking for negative anything.
Right.
All right, but is there a story behind the split of the original members? That
the story was that we had been together for 10 years. We'd had all these hits, and then all of a sudden nothing was happening, and they just decided that they wanted to go off and do their own thing. Especially Billy. I don't think Marilyn really wanted to go, but particularly Billy had always wanted a solo career, and since they were married, they decided they were going to go off and do their thing. But I decided, people are enjoying this music. Let's continue it. And we found other members and continued with the Fifth Dimension. Mm-hmm.
That's good to know, because you know how people want to make something out of nothing.
We're still friendly, we still talk. Unfortunately, we lost Ron Townsend, the big guy. He passed away. Lamont McLemore is living in Las Vegas. He's not in the best of health, and Marilyn and Billy are doing their thing. But we talk occasionally.
That's good. Now, did they meet were they single before they?
Yeah. They were in the group,
met, and then they. Did you see it happen? Like,
not really.
You knew that was going to
be different. I mean, they were entirely different, personalities, and it was a shock to all of us when they got together. I think to them too, but they remain happily married for over 50 years now.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And you're not dating, so I'm gathering you're not married.
I'm not married, but I'm
So,
available. I'm available.
I got to look for
oh,
two
you
mechanics now. I got to get two mechanics now. I
yes,
can't believe this.
two mechanics,
You guys are
not
putting me to
one.
work.
Now, have you been married before,
Oh yes, I've been married 3
Florence?
times. Yes, unfortunately they've all passed, but yes, I like being
Okay,
married.
so you're
I'm a good
ready.
wife.
You like being married.
Yes.
You like being married. Okay. Well, you heard it here. Send your picture and your resume.
I'm a good cook.
Actually, just come on down on Friday. Go and go to drmarissa.life, put in Aquarius, date Florence, and then I'll know who you are. And we'll
Love
have
it.
you come backstage with me if I pass you in the first run.
You can sing it. You can sing at my wedding.
I can. I can. That's wonderful. So let's take a little bit of a setting intention fun. So what would you like to see the fifth dimension continue or do anew for the next for this next post-pandemic possibility season, the way I see it, the way I've been calling it? And what do you think the world needs now, as far as music, and so sort of combine that the answers? I'm just giving you. I am a big intention setter. Like, if we
Yes.
don't know what we want, we are not going to
Right.
get it. So go ahead.
I would like to see the Fifth Dimension release a new CD or new music, I should say, whatever form, so that we can be introduced to the younger generation. We have young people come to our show and they'll slump down like, "Oh, my parents drugged me to this show to hear their old music." And at the end of the show, they say, "Hey, you guys were great." They
Oh my
discover that
God,
they
you were so
like our
good.
music. But I would like to record something that they feel is theirs, so that they can be introduced to music with lyrics, with melodies that they can enjoy. The world needs music that's going to bring people together. We are blessed, and our audience, you look in our audience, you see people of all races, of all nationalities coming together and leaving joyful. And that's what the world needs, more positivity.
Beautiful, beautiful, and so it is. Sidney.
Well, I agree with you that you have to proceed with intent. Otherwise, it's just like a water hose, loose water hose.
That's a
I
good
have
one.
my personal ambitions, but for the fifth dimension, I would love to see us performing either new music or revised music that's already been out there and kind of modernized for the younger ears.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say this. I hope I don't get in trouble by my boss, but I would love to see a movie done on Florence's life. I
Oh,
think that no, I'm absolutely serious about this. A good storyteller would be able to make such a wonderful biopic on your life, because it has had all of the peaks and all of the valleys that any good screenwriter would recognize that makes this phenomenal story. And you're here and you're vibrant and you're spreading so much love and joy. And Dr. Melissa, you should see the women especially respond to Florence because she's so inspirational to them. I think that would be a home run. So when you were talking movies
yeah.
earlier, I was kind of kept it closed, but I have a lot of thoughts.
Who's going to play
And
me?
so it is.
Don't know, somebody cute.
You
Somebody
will
cute.
play you. I mean, you're 81, for fork's sake. There's no. I mean,
Right.
you're like you have the energy and the presence. You're ageless. You truly are. I joke
Oh,
around that
thank
I'm
you.
ageless. You
Yes.
are
Thank you.
the poster child
Thank
fabulous,
you.
for
By the
sure.
way,
For sure.
I wrote a book called Grace in Your Second
Yes,
Act.
I was just about to. I was
Yeah,
just about to ask you,
yeah.
and I love the fact that she's not shy about sharing her gifts. No, it's so important,
I think I have. Oh,
especially for
here it is.
women. We have all of this conditioning that says we shouldn't do this. Grace in Your Second Act, a guide to aging gracefully. That's
Mentally,
beautiful.
physically, and
That-
spiritually.
So, what would you say is the least remembered tip that women, as they're aging, they forget? What is the one thing in your book that you would want to give people hope about in
It's the
aging?
one thing that people don't want to talk about, and that's spirituality. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking spirituality. No matter how you worship, maybe you are an atheist, but maybe you what do they call it when you think? Uh, but
Agnostic.
whatever you do, your spirituality is so important to you because
Yeah.
you can look one way and feel another. You see people sometimes they're smiling all the time, and inside they're so unhappy because they don't, like you said, they don't love themselves. You know, they're not happy with who they
Yeah,
are, and that's the one thing that we don't want to talk about and that we avoid.
Yeah.
We're always looking at the
you're
outside.
absolutely.
You know, it's like a beautiful apple that has a worm in it. You know, until you get that
Right.
worm out.
I just from a male point of view, I mean, because we're all going through getting older and
Right.
dealing with age and some of the limitations that it brings, but actually there's more gifts that it brings, at least up in maybe until a certain age, if you can keep your
Mm.
health. But what I have found is that quote unquote youthfulness, or I like the word vitality more than
Mm,
Yes.
youthfulness. It comes exactly as you're saying, it comes from your spirit. It's how you're relating to the world. Are you
Yeah.
still open? Are you shutting people off? Are you so sure about your own opinions? Or are you still open to the world? And that's what brings vitality. That's what I saw. That's
Mhm.
what I saw in my mother almost up until her dying day.
Mm.
An openness for life.
Yeah.
mhm.
So those are
And
my male
and
2 cents I'm putting in on this.
thank you for that. And notice the parallel with Florence's one word adjective that she used to describe you of open. So
Open,
I like
yes.
that full circle connection there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I say I'm allergic to religion, actually, and that I'm spiritual, very much so. I plug in to my that power source every morning when I pray and meditate. So I call my God my UPS man, my universal power source, who delivers every morning when I
We
pray and
want
meditate.
we want spiritual fruits, not religious nuts.
Oh, I love. I'm
Very
stealing that.
good.
I'm stealing that. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. The one that I use is religion is for people who want to avoid going to hell, and spirituality is for those of us who've already been to hell.
Oh.
Right?
My.
The
Very
things,
interesting.
yeah. And I love this. I love that you said that, Florence, because I think that in this time post pandemic, when people are feeling even more isolated, like they can finally breathe, but they don't know whether they want to breathe,
Right.
right? And they've gotten pandemic habits of isolation, pandemic habits of not connecting, that I do see your music, and I see you just like Ed Sheeran and Andrea Bocelli got together and did something.
Oh.
Who would you like to do something with
Ooh.
that would I have someone already. He's an aspiring he's an up and coming musician. He's actually, his mom is my co-host on Fridays. His grandpa is the founder of the Temptations, and his name is Trace Trace Austin. And so for sure, I'm going to make sure I introduce him to you guys. But who would you see right now working with you who's doing music now in the charts that it would be interesting to have with the Fifth Dimension?
Well, I used to always want to do something with Johnny Mathis because of his person. I know him, and he's just such a wonderful person. So you talk about humble. He's very humble, and his voice is just, I think, reflects that. I'd like to do something with Sdney Jacobs.
Okay. You'd like to date him?
No.
You want to date? Oh, okay.
He's married, happily married.
Oh, he's not. Okay. Sorry. Hey, I wanted to date Quincy Jones. You know, that's my date of choice.
Also, John Legend. I would like to do something with John Legend too.
John Legend. Okay, that's a good one to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, actually, John Legend. I was going to say the first artist that popped into my head actually was Lizzo.
Really?
And it might seem at first glance, it might seem a little interesting, but she steps out of the box. She does. And Missy Elliott, they step out of the box, and then they're not afraid to do other things. But what we don't know, and this information is out there, it's just, you got to get it. And maybe Dr. You can kind of investigate a little bit.
Sure.
Who are the current artists who have been inspired by the Fifth Dimension? And I promise you that with all of these young, great artists, many of them are music historians as well. They're deeply into the music. So if you find an artist that's not afraid to take a chance, initially came out of the box doing something different, not trying to sound like a hit maker already, but trying to find their own path, that's the spirit, I would say, that we're looking for in the Fifth Dimension. And there are plenty of artists out there like that.
What a great idea. What a great Ariana Grande came to mind. Yeah. Pharrell came to mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So we'll see. Yeah. Let's see what we can do with that. All right. I just got the signal from my beautiful sound engineer, Polly. Thanks so much for the work that you do in the station KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. We are into our final less than 2 minutes. Final word, Florence. Oh, where can we find your book?
You can find my book on Amazon. Yes. Amazon,
Florence La Rue. Do you have a social handle that people can follow you at, or how do they contact you?
Oh, yes, they can go to my site, FlorenceLaRue.com. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still getting into all of this.
I know, and you do wonderfully. You do wonderfully. So, FlorenceLaRue.com. Sidney, how do we find you?
Well, you can find me separately at SydneyJacobsArt.com. That's my website, and I have several dates coming up between now and probably October in the Los Angeles area. But the Fifth Dimension will be performing at the Saban on Friday. We'll be performing at the Coach House on Saturday, which is in Orange County, and then we're flying up to the Bay Area on Sunday, and we'll be at Yoshi's. And they're great venues, all of them, and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Wonderful. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room with the fabulous Fifth Dimension, including the founder who was there right from the beginning. Thanks so much for coming and gracing my studio. We'll see you on Friday for their show at the Saban. I do this at the end of every show. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best up and away day ever. Have the best day.